Joe Jones, former LAPD officer, former Celebrity Bodyguard, former Major League Baseball draft choice, entrepreneur and CEO of Versatile Productions, father of former Rock Nation artist KC Veggies, and author of the book The Tragic Life of a Black LA Cop. Let's talk about it. What made you write this book?
Yeah, well, the book was birthed from my experience is in the tragic things that I went through as a police officer on LAPD. I had just a succession of really, really violent things that took place, and those things that I dealt with caused me to have PTSD. And the process within that process of having PTSD, it caused me to be emotional about a lot of things, to have stress and feel a certain type of way. So the only way I felt like I was going to be able to cure that was to tell my story and to extract all the pain that I was feeling. As well, I wanted to also try and make my waves as it pertains to police reform and some of the things that can happen as a black police officer. And as well, I also wanted to try to do what I could do to save some young black men from being putting themselves in bad situations, and as well being put in bad situations.
So I read the book. There's a whole lot of crazy experiences in the book.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something that might not be in the book. What's one of the craziest things that you've seen?
Yeah. Well, I had a situation while just new, not being on the job very long, where I was at a friend's house at a gathering, a little social gathering at a friend's house towards the Hollywood area, and we were standing on the porch, and I heard a guy yelling, and I heard somebody yelling and screaming at a person, and then as I stepped out on the porch from my friend's house, I noticed a guy walking up the street. And when he walked up the street, he crossed the street and walked over to a car. This was about 100 feet in front of me. He walked across the street and walked over to a car that was parked. And next thing you know, he pulled out a gun, pointed it at the car, and shot about 3 times, head first, shot the person in the head like 3 times, right on the street while I was looking. And the guy was walking directly by me. So when he walked by me, he was in a dazed kind of space. He wasn't being confrontational or anything. So I basically stepped out in front of him from behind the car, and I grabbed his hands and I took the gun away from him. And I was like, man, what what you just do? He was, and he I don't know what I just did. He said, I don't know what I just did. So the police was called, and the police came. I held him until they got there. And once they got there, he was arrested, and I just basically handed him off to them, because during that time, I just had so much resentment towards the police department behind the things that I was experiencing. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even want to be a part of it. I did want to stop this person from getting away with murder, of course, but I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I just handed them off. I didn't tell them I was an officer or anything. And I just, gave them to the guy, and said, hey, there's the person he shot over there. And I ultimately went back into the party. And they thought I was a hero. But, at the end of the day, I just felt like I just did what I could do to stop this guy from killing this person and then just leaving.
So what you just watched somebody get murdered in the street, and then you go back and go back into the party.
Yeah.
What do you think that comes from? How do you think most people will be? There won't be any partying for a while.
Yeah, well, you know, when you've experienced so many things, I mean, you grow up in the hood, you know, you just see so much, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And, you know, here this was, I mean, I've seen people that I know who have been killed. So when I see a person that I've never seen before, know nothing about, get killed, that's really nothing to me. You know, I mean, it's not that it's nothing, but it's not like it's something that was going to completely, totally disrupt my day. Of course, it was an issue at that time. Mm-hmm. Of course, I had a lot of sentiment towards the person that it happened to and wondered why this person would do what he did. But, you know, it's just part of growing up in the city. You know, you see things that are tragic and crazy, but you keep going.
Right. I think the term for that now is normalizing. Things are getting normalized.
Yeah.
Certain things that shouldn't.
Yeah.
Are normalized.